you have lunch sort of in the middle of the hill, right? You're outside at picnic tables and everything. So we're eating while having our lunch. Oh,
Ja, that's fantastic. I know how you chicken breast gluten-free bun.
Yeah, chocolate cookie. I see, that's a very good cookie. And so Tony and the other guys, I was not done with my food yet. So I said, you guys go ski. I'm going to sit here for a little bit, finish my food. And so you go off, okay, go ahead. It's like, I'll see you later. So they go ski.
And you can see Carl grew up on the Austrian-German border.
So then he took off and sitting there for a little while, and some people were sitting around while we were talking there. And I look over to them and I go, do you know what time it is?
We had a group of people that were so fascinated with us. He grew up on the border. I'm from Berlin, Western Berlin. This is before the wall came down, I think. But we had a lot of fun. And the great thing about Carl was that he had a great sense of humor, he had a great drive, and he was just phenomenal company. And so we became fast friends before anything else. And you know, back in those days, I was trying to do stand-up comedy. Well, it turned out well. But you know, it was my acting background and also my training background that gave me the ability to be able to do what I did. But you know, Great Body Guaranteed was a pretty simple thing, and I was really nervous, and I wasn't very good. You know, Debbie was actually better than I was. She was more versed with the camera than I was at that stage. But I really liked this guy, and I trusted this guy, and I needed the $2 grand. So let's face it. But what it was a stepping stone for me to be able to get to this place where I am now. You know, I mean, you know, just like Shaun, you know, he's not only a trainer, but he's a great motivator, and he's a great speaker, and you know, he's an entrepreneur, and you know, that's what you've been able to do for all of us. Autumn's just sitting back going, damn, I can't wait for this ride to begin. But I mean, that's really what this company has been able to do for us. And at that point, you know, I remember when you asked, there was no question. I was thrilled to get on board and work with you and create those first steps to help build this company.
Well, it's interesting how the things shift, right? So here's Tony taking this leap with this company that didn't exist. You know, in my mind, like we were the greatest thing that ever hit infomercials, and we were nothing. Like our first year, we did $800,000 in sales. And to just explain how far we've come, and even the network, right? The first year in the network, we signed 5,000 coaches in the first year, and now we're signing 15,000 coaches a month. That's great. That's great. And in fact, this week is the anniversary of our, next week, 28th, is the anniversary of our very first order in the network, and she might even be here. The person that ordered the first thing out of the network. Is Lisa Decker here? Where, Lisa? There she is, the very first order in the network. Thank you. You still owe one payment for something. So, you know, this just shows growth, and interesting, everybody knows Shaun, you know, the first thing we did was hip-hop abs with him, but there came this sort of, yeah, right, it was a huge, actually, at the time, the company's just sort of grown, right, just new product, grows a little bit, new product, we learn, we grow, and da-da-da. Not everything we do works, not everything strikes a chord, but hip-hop abs was the fastest growing product that we'd had at the time. We got to $1 million a week in media on that program in 4 weeks, which was the fastest we had ever done that. In fact, for years it was the fastest that ever got to $1 million a week, and that record was only broken by T25. I knew Shaun was this dancey guy, right? Hey, hey! Check the pocket, check the pocket. So I wish I had thought of that. Check the pocket, Tony. Next time we're gonna do, Tony would be like, brush the teeth. So I knew this dancing guy, but there was this idea that I had that Isabel and I were talking about functional fitness and everything, and I said to her one time, you know, honey, I wish I had something that was just like because I'm so terrible with my consistency at working out. When I finally get it together, maybe 2-3 times a week, when I finally do it, like I just want to bludgeon myself with this routine. And I want it to be hardcore, I want it to be super functional. And she's like, yeah, they do that. She used to train people, track stars and everything. Like, she gave me an idea of what that might look like. Isabel used to be a trainer, is what I mean. But, so I talked to Lara, Lara Ross is the SVP of development for the company and, responsible for most of our just biggest hits, with the exception of P90X, which wasn't that far. But I said, hey, I want to do this thing. We got to find a great trainer for it. She's like, absolutely, let's look around. We started to look at people, and I guess she mentioned it to you or something, and Shaun's like, I'm going to do that. And I said, Lara, no, this isn't dance time. This is like hardcore. And Shaun said, no, let me do it. Let me show Carl that I'm going to do this thing. So he got like Tanya and Karpenko was in the background. Yeah, so you got like 3 or 4 people, and he did like 15 or 20 minutes of what he had in mind. They shot it like on a basketball court sort of thing, and I'm just telling you, I watched this thing, and it was truly awesome and insane. And that's when the name was born. It was truly insane. I mean, literally, everybody was like laying flat down. Karpenko had a water bottle and threw it into the water because he couldn't do it anymore. Shaun's just like, you're done. And Shaun's just like, you people can't hang, I'm gonna finish this myself. What was it? Now you were going around the world, choreographer, dancer, like you had this career track, but something about that attracted you. Why did you throw your hat in the ring to possibly upset the trajectory of great dance programs? Zumba was just starting to get big. Like, there was a different trajectory you could have been on, and you said, I'm going to do it that way.
I don't really think it was a conscious effort, really. I grew up playing sports, and I don't know if a lot of you noticed, but when I was 8 years old, I asked my mother if I could be a ballerina. Like, I literally walked up and said, can I be a ballerina? And she's like, I don't think little boys are ballerinas. So it literally like left my mind, and so I played football, I ran track, I did all these things. So I moved to LA specifically just to see if I could be a successful professional dancer, but athletics was my #1 love, was the first thing. So, when Larry was like, yeah, we're looking for someone to do, an insane program, I was like, why doesn't he just let me do it? She was like, he said, you're just a dance guy. And I was like, he really does not know who I am. But, so that's why I did. I mean, it's in my blood. So one of the stories that a lot of people have heard is that I can't act out the full scene. But my very first day of track practice in high school went like this. No, I'm not going to act it out. Coach says, all right, everyone, go out to the track, run a mile. In order to make it on the team, you have to do it in under 6 minutes. So you're like, what? But being a competitive person that I am, I go out and I run that mile in under 6 minutes, and I wanted to throw up, literally die. And then we finished that, and he was like, okay, let's stretch. I'm like, fine. And then, no, we didn't stretch yet. We ran a mile, then we started doing drills across the football field. We were doing these. Then we had to run back doing these. Then we had to run back. This is 50 meters of this, doing these. This is what we did. This was the, then we had to run down through the cones, doing this, right? So I did that, so we did that, and we were like exhausted after like, I don't know, it was like the 6 minute mile, and then it was like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of those drills. And so we were like, oh my God, that was hard. I wonder what we're gonna do tomorrow. And he was like, that was just the warm up. Literally, that's exactly how it happened. And I remember I was in the best shape of my life after 2 months. Like, that was spring training. After 2 months, we started running our meets. And obviously our meets were like about a month and a half. And I just remember being in peak physical condition. So when the insanity thing came out, or when I was able to go out and produce this thing, or give them my idea of what it was, I'm like, this is easy. But the craziest thing happened after we did the warm-up and we stretched. He says, all right, we're gonna do 8 400s. When you finish one, you get a 30-second rest and then you gotta do it again. And I was like, are you serious? Like, this is crazy. We had 1 minute and 15 seconds to finish these, 1 minute 15 to 2 minutes to finish these 400-meter hurdles. So that's all insanity was. And so that was when I was 15 years old, 14 years old, and I was just like, this works. Like, how do I put this method into what I want to show Carl? And so I woke up at 5 a.m. one morning and I sat at my dining room table and I literally mapped out this workout and I called all my friends. And actually, the video that we shot was in a dance studio, get into it. The very first submission video I shot was actually in a dance studio, but Mike Carpengo did throw his water bottle up against the wall. He was really pissed, and it was very true that all of our friends were laying on the floor, and I was like, I'm just gonna finish this by myself. But that's what it was, and it was just like, I'm the dance guy, yes, I'm crazy, I think that fitness has many different things. I mean, Tony has 10-minute trainer, he has P90X, P90X2, P90X3, and all of them have something different about it. Me, I have hip hop abs, rockin' body, asylum, insanity, we have all these things. But for me, I don't think that one program is for everybody. Like, I don't expect everybody to do insanity. I don't expect everybody to do T25 or hip hop abs. But one of the reasons why I wanted to do this and step outside of the dance guy thing is because I'm like, I have a passion for fitness and for people to be as healthy as possible. And maybe they don't want to, throw their hair, doing hip hop abs, or pop it a little bit. They might want to drop down and do some push-ups or something. So that's why I did it. That was the transition for me, the easy transition from going from one to the other.
Got it. Now, what people might not know is, in terms of background, when we discovered Autumn through sort of researching the type of person that we wanted for this new 21-day program. We saw this fitness person, bikini competitor, had devised this portion control program that she was selling and going on TV to market. But what I didn't know, and I don't even know if it shows through the videos, is you used to be like a professional dancer, or you were all about the dance? How did you make this transition from dancer over to fitness guru?
That I danced my whole life. I started when I was in 8th grade, because I wasn't allowed to dance when I was little. I had a really bad hip injury when I was 4, put me in the hospital. Nobody really knows this story. They didn't know what was wrong with me. They didn't know if I'd ever walk again. Lo and behold, 3 weeks in the hospital, and I did. But I wasn't allowed to dance for a while. So 8th grade, started dancing. Started competing within a year of taking class, and I was like, that's it, that's what I'm doing. I'm not having a desk job. I told my dad I was going to Hollywood, and he laughed. But my dad would dance with me in the kitchen. It was like, he would dance with me. So I did. I ended up competing all through high school, went to college as a dance major, ended up with a back injury my senior year, ended up with a bulging disc in my lower spine. And the doctor said, stop dancing or have back surgery by the time of 20. And so I was left I had spent 10 years thinking I was going to dance my whole life. That was going to be my job. And here I am trying to figure out at 19, what am I going to do with myself? I left school with a semester to go, and I moved to California. And I was like, I'm still going to Hollywood. I'm doing something. Something in the entertainment business, because that's what I like to do. And I did acting for a while, and I had my SAG card and did a little commercial work here and there. And I was waiting tables, and I hated waiting tables. I was like, I can't do another day of waiting tables. But I didn't want to teach dance. And that was like, I could still dance, I just couldn't dance 8 hours a day anymore. So I was like, I don't want to teach it, that's for me, it's personal now, like I just want to be able to do it when I want to do it. What's the next closest thing? Fitness. And I liked helping people, so I started researching certifications and came across NASM and NASM, and that was my first one. Paired up with somebody who had a small private business and started doing in-home training.
How long have you been a trainer then?
10 years.
Well, it's interesting. When we had the meeting, this is at the time, the first time we met Autumn, T25 was deep in development, and P90X3 was just getting in development. And I asked Autumn, tell me about like the routine that you take your clients through that is the one that they love? Like, what type of training do you do? And she said, well, I take them through this routine that's called the Dirty 30. And I said, you're my girl.
Yes, he did.
That's in the base kit, right?
It is.
The Dirty 30. Wish I'd have thought of that one. All right, I want to move to what being in the network is like for you guys. And Tony, because you've got the longest history, I don't even know how we first even introduced the fact that we were launching this network. Obviously, when we do a show, we work for about a year and a half to get the product developed, test groups, and develop the show, and then test until we get that show to roll out, hopefully. But what did you think at first when I said to you, we're going to launch a multi-level marketing business and your products are going to be a part of that? Did you have any opinion about that? Did you have any reaction to it at first?
I never told you, but inside my little brain, I thought, he's going to ruin the company. Because, you know, I mean, my affiliations prior had been with multi-level marketing had been pretty horrible. You know, the ick factor was very high, 9 times out of 10, you know, and I would go to a meeting and I was, you know, back in those days, I was waiting tables. Loved it, though, weird. And, I wanted to regress and start washing dishes again. That was the weight of the dishwasher. But yeah, I mean, I had a bunch of different jobs back in those days, you know, but you know, when you brought that to me, I thought, oh man, we're finally getting somewhere. We're finally starting to grow. And you know, I had those kinds of experiences with Amway and Herbalife and things like that. And it was so brutal and so awful. But the beautiful thing was, you know, we spoke about that early on to kind of take the ick factor out. And so I think the reason why it's grown to the point where it is, because this company is about helping people feel better, look better, lose weight, make some decent money, doing something they love so they can share that with other people. Boom. Right? We're not selling, you know, cure-all pills and vacuum cleaners here. We're doing, which are important. But and so, you know, early on I was skeptical. And I'll never forget, Carl called me up and said, you know, I'm starting this Team Beachbody thing, and I'm going to get these folks called coaches. They're going to represent the company, sell some stuff. This is way before Shakeology. And do you know anybody who do that? I go, yeah. Well, because initially we had these camps. Some of you have been to those camps that Tracy Moore and I ran way back in the day, just to do it, just to have, you know, get some folks together. We were all talking online, and we finally got these camps together. And I said, I know a girl, Tracy Morrill. How about her? She might want to do it. Mark Briggs. He might want to do it. Robert Hudgens. He might want to do it. You're writing these names down. Okay, who are these people? So, and it's funny because they were part of the original launch. You know, they were, and now they're all top coaches, and their lives have changed, and they've changed the lives of tens of thousands of people. And so in the end, I was wrong. It's a good idea. A really, really good idea. And it's fun because it's taken what we did with those camps initially, that we really love doing, and it's exploded now, and it's really become this amazing thing. And you can't go anywhere now without people talking about Shakeology or Insanity or P90X3. And it really is, I mean, you guys and gals are truly the reason why this company has grown so exponentially. It really is. I mean, you're phenomenal representatives, and every time I come to one of these events, I'm more and more blown away. And you know, people will say that, you know, I've changed their lives, but you know, you and I know that it's really you that opened the box. A lot of people didn't open the box.